Believe. Become. Be great.
What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Peeling Back the Greatness. I am the one and only. I'm your host, Derek DeLeon. If this is your first time tuning in, go like, subscribe, share. I can't let you into this episode until you do that first. Sorry, I'm just kidding. But please do so. We got a lot of great guests on. We got a lot of great things that we talk about. You know, everything from the industry, music, media, entertainment, mental health. One thing I do not touch on that you will not find here is real world problems and political stuff. So do not come here if you're looking for that, because this ain't the place. So we're getting ready to wrap up season 2. It's been a hell of a journey, been a long ride. Season 3, I can tell you right now, we are definitely coming in with a strong hand as far as the guests that are going to be coming on. Stay tuned for the women's empowerment event, the women's empowerment episode that's going to be coming to you as well. Speaking of women's empowerment, I would like to introduce 2 of my amazing guests today. One of them you guys have already seen. You guys know. If you guys have me on social media, you already are familiar with her. My sister, Tab Rodriguez. Tab, what's up?
What's going on, y'all? What's happening? It's
and
Queen
then,
T here.
And then my second guest, Deanna. What's up, Deanna?
Hey, buddy.
So I'm real quick. So I met Deanna through Beyond Elements. Shout out to Beyond Elements, Mike and Amber. Deanna is a phenomenal person. She definitely has her shit together when it comes to the industry. This is somebody that I admire everything that you do, because you are strong-willed. You definitely have a great mindset when it comes to this business, because I think we could all agree this business is not easy. I actually stressed that to my daughters yesterday. I'm like, this shit is fucking hard. So I want to welcome you, lovely ladies, to Peeling Back the Greatness. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. Hi, y'all.
I like that jacket. Where'd you get it at?
I told you. I got it from Corpus Christi. I got the Selena going on. I'm dreaming of using the back, y'all.
Exactly. And the hat, too.
Oh, yeah.
And the hair.
Oh,
the color. Come on.
The earrings. I just didn't have my hoops. You know what I'm saying?
The hoops would have just took
Hoops would have killed it. Hoops would have killed it.
She can wear it all weekend. You ain't going to find that off her.
Not all week.
I'll be able to spot you out, though. That's her.
See?
She's there.
Deanna knows. Deanna knows.
Derek
knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Spot.
And then Deanna, I mean, I'll give you credit for that jacket, even though I'm not a big nugget
come
fan,
on, come on.
He loves
I'll give her credit. I'll give her credit.
I have to represent, you know what I mean? Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Come on, champions.
I know. Vanessa be like, hallelujah.
Exactly, champions, you know.
He likes the Nuggets. That's what he just said, even on his podcast.
Yes, we got it on recording.
Can't do
video.
Can't
you
do
said
it.
It came out of your mouth.
Can't do it. So, anyways, thank you, ladies, for coming on to the podcast.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that I know we could talk about. I mean, we could talk about parenting. We could talk about industry. There's just so many things. The thing that I know that we all have in relation, obviously outside of parenting, is definitely the industry. I know I've had a few other guests that we touch on these quite a few times. As people from the outside, I know a lot of people, they want to know, like, hey, how is it? Because not a lot of people get a taste of it. Mm-hmm. It looks all fine. It looks all good from the outside, but damn, behind the scenes. And I know you and I know you definitely have the experience, yeah. Deanna. But yeah, it could be fucked up.
But it could be treacherous.
Yep.
You just don't know what you're gonna expect, because your life is kind of like a roadmap. So you're sitting there and you're. 1 minute you're turning left, the next minute you're turning right, and then you're supposed to go straight when we're supposed to go down the street, and you're kind of being pulled all over the place. And so you're trying to figure out, well, what streets am I going to go on next, or where am I going to go first, in order to get to my next pot, or my next view, or my next whatever it is that you're doing. And so I think, like I said, it's treacherous. It's not easy. It's definitely overwhelming, and it can be stressful at times, but it all depends on what you're willing to take.
Yeah.
And that's where mindset comes in. That's where discipline comes in. Like he said earlier, we're going to be having another one where we come in with the women's empowerment, and I'm going to be touching on a lot of those topics as well. Like your self-awareness and things like that, and such. But, I don't know. How do you feel about it, Deanna?
I think coming into the music industry for artists, I think it's a lot of people worry about money, you know, because you don't make a lot of money. You can, but in the moment when you're starting off, you don't make a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, you're out there like having a full-time job, and then you're also, you know, making merchandise, you're selling it, you're trying to get that profit so that we can invest in yourself. So I think a lot of it is that, and it's time consuming. I mean, and meeting the right people. I think sometimes people are shy to talk to people. They don't want to talk to people. They don't have the right connections. I think people have low self-esteem sometimes. Or they just
don't know what to say.
They don't know what to, They're like, what do I do? Who do I talk about? Yeah. But I think when you have people like ourselves, we embrace others and try to help people. So there's not a lot of people like that. But it's time consuming too.
Yeah.
You ain't going to make nothing off the top. If you're going to come in the industry and say, like, I'm going to go in there and make millions of dollars and, you know, be this top artist, I mean, you can't have that kind of attitude. You have to be humble, honestly.
Yeah, you definitely have to come in and you have to have the right attitude. Can't say the wrong thing to the right people. Right. I know I've been on both sides where, you know, you just bullshit. Some people, you know, may not want to work with you. I know for me, obviously I look for people that are genuine. I do pride myself on connections. I know you do too as well. And I know that comes from a place of being genuine, right? Yep. Really getting to know a person and not just, hey, how could we bring, you know, what can I bring to you? What can you bring to me? But really taking that next level and connecting with the people, because, again, the people that are in the industry and they really understand exactly what we're saying as far as, hey, if you focus on the money, if you focus on the very thing that there is plenty out there, you know, because money is out there. It's just how you just got to know how to get it, you know. So if we focus on the very thing that there is plenty out there, then it's going to completely steer us in the wrong way, because that's where a lot of the drama, a lot of the stuff that comes from the industry, that I believe that's really where it comes from. Beliefs, beliefs may be a part of it, but it's all money driven. Money, right? That's why, again, media is media. TMZ is TMZ. Exactly. You know, the gossip, the drama, it's all a business. You know, and so I believe that's, you know, that's the biggest thing, is that, you know, people just got to really be genuine out there. You know, really understand your audience, who it is that you're talking to. I can't say it enough. I can't stress it enough. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who's right in front of you.
Be prepared
we experienced that firsthand. We experienced that firsthand.
You never know who you're going to talk to or who's going to be watching you.
Yep. And just being an opportunist, you know, that's a big thing too. I know one of the things that, like, when I first came in the industry, I mean, obviously I had my desires, you know, I want to be an actor. I mean, what I'm currently doing, I did not anticipate on actually doing everything, you know. So it is a blessing in disguise. I am thankful that I chose this path, or that God has chosen this path for me, because, you know, all I knew is I'm going to school. I know what I want to go for, and I'm gonna see where it takes me. You know, I didn't stay distracted and all this extra shit. I just
you followed your path.
Exactly.
Your calling.
And you focus on your passion, you know. Your thing, I think, what I probably admire most about you, D, is you're the person who sits there and tells everybody how much you want to help the people. And I'm not just talking like everyday people, right, Deanna? Like, I'm talking, you're helping people within the industry too. So some people might disagree with me, some people might not. You might disagree or agree with me, but I think ultimately, after watching you over the, you know, the course of the years that we've been friends, which 7-8 years now, you helped me along the way as a friend, as a sister, you know, and, you know, now we're family, like my kids, your kids, all of it. But I think watching you, I've actually seen where your passion really led off after school and after you graduated, knowing that you wanted to do something. And so I admire the fact that not only are you about the people and helping the people, but you're also helping a lot of people, like artists and other people who are networking out there, other sponsors. I mean, especially like understanding where a lot of these people have troubles where they're not really seeing it, but you have an eye for it. You know what I mean? Like when it comes down to the social media, when it comes down to the media itself, like you have an actual eye for it, and that's your passion. And you fix it, you tweak it however you want, and you're like, no, I see it like this. I want it like this. I'm going to do it like this. And this is how it should be done. you know? Yeah. And so you shine light on that. And I think that's great because that shows people out there, like, if they're scared to do something, well, there's somebody that'll help you. You know, I'm a resource. Use me, you know, and you're not afraid to tell people to use you as a resource because you're not looking into it, I guess you would say, for a benefit of yourself. You know,
I want everybody to win.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
That's a great attitude.
Yeah, and
I'm the same way. That's why it's not about like a money or dollar amount, but I want to help people. Yeah, sit down with you and talk to you about how to grow, how to help you. You want to vent to me? I'm gonna listen to you. Yeah. You know, but also I think people have low self-esteem about their, you know, creativity. Yeah, they worry about what everybody has to say about them, and they exactly. Everybody's going to have opinions. I mean, that some artists, you know, I may not like a certain artist, but other people do. But I think people just get down and discouraged, and that kind of keeps them at that standpoint of where they don't want to progress, I think. Yeah. And that's sad, you know?
It keeps them on standby.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, I don't want to keep pushing, and they just kind of like let their dreams go, you know?
Yeah. I think, you know, for me personally, I look for people that are like go-getters, right? Like, let me go, because that's how I am. Go. Yeah. And so if and I've had those people, I know Tabs know, I've had those people that want my help, but then they either don't even respond to my messages, or they're not really serious, or it's not the right time or whatever. Like,
and you extended your invite, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If they accept it or not, well, you tried.
Yeah. And it's tough, you know, because if I can't want people to win more than they want to win, you know, and I do it because I wish I had somebody like me back when I started this shit. I shouldn't even say this, but the business, right? Exactly. Like, I really wish that I knew somebody that I'm like, damn, I know exactly who to go to, because like, I'm not one of those ones that's going to gatekeep anything. You know, I'm really trying to find a different path to be able to help everybody else. Like, nah, you don't need to go to school for this shit. You don't need to go have a business degree. You don't need to do any of that. Yes, I did it. I made the sacrifice. That is exactly why I want to bring it to the people.
To your attention.
Just you come learn from people who are doing it in the industry, not from, you know, people who aren't even making a quarter of what a regular teacher makes. I mean, you know, like, damn, you know, pay all this money to, you know, anyway. So that is my attitude, is like, hey, you just invest in yourself, sacrifice for yourself, prove to yourself, like, how bad do you want it? You know, I made this post the other day, actually, my bad, not the other day, a week ago, and so I made this post that said, what would you do to meet the wealthiest people in the world? You know, some of the comments are, you know, I ain't responding to any of them, you know, but I just want to see what people said, you know, and everybody has a different attitude, right? I know for us, hell yeah, we want to meet the wealthiest people in the world. Hell yeah, we want to be in that same room. For other people, they have a different view of it. I've had a different view at one point where I'm like, oh, fuck the rich people. It's all bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, mid-20s and stuff, but
yeah. Well, until it's people around you or family, people influencing you know, the rich people this or that, or talk about it, so that you kind of stay with that, with what you know.
Like, what are you more familiar with? Yeah.
Based on what you hear from others and how they feel about it. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I want to talk about, you know, what it was that really pushed us to say, you know what, we're gonna go for it all, right? Because it is a major transition to go from, you know, the reality, like I know what I grew up, you know, regular parents working a regular job. You know, I love my parents to death. I would do anything for them. You know, they taught me everything that they could possibly teach me, right? I mean, that's just it. So now, you know, there's a moment, and you know, the person that really kind of changed the dynamic for this is the very person that we're honoring, Kristen. Like, he's the one that, just from a simple conversation, hey, I applied as an on-air host without any experience. Oh, well, why don't you hit up so-and-so? Like, that's the story. Yeah. You know, and so I guess it just really took wanting something more. I think for me the defining moment was in the financial business. Yeah. When I noticed that everybody was building their own business, had their own brand, I was like, oh shit, I could have my own brand. You know, just the thought of it.
Because it opened up doors for you too.
Damn, like, well, that's sick. Okay, that's what I knew. I'm like, this is to have other people doing that same thing. That was kind of what changed the game for me. You know, obviously, still standing today, be great. You know. So that was my moment that I knew, like, damn, I want to do it. You know, and then, like I say, obviously the conversation with Christian, that was going to CMS, taking a tour, and then once I actually seen what it was about, I was like, oh yeah, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
You know. So that was it for me. What about you ladies? What was it that changed the game for you? Like, what was the moment that it was like, I think this is it. This is what I want to do.
I think ultimately for me, it was, I think, watching you as my best friend, but just watching media on a day-to-day basis, I want to say, and just like how people kind of swarm into sitting on their couch and just watching social media all the time and seeing what other people are doing. And I'm like, yeah. You know, I'm good on that. Like, and people laugh at me too when I'm at work or whatever it is. And they're like, Tab, you don't watch any TV? I'm like, no, I read books. I go to the library a lot. I mean, I travel a lot now too, now that I'm doing a lot more stuff with you, you know, as far as Be Great, you know, comes into full effect. Like, it's here, you know, and I'm in business with you on that, you know what I mean? So I know what it's all about, and just in general, like, what I wanted for the world, and I wanted people to see a different lens. I wanted my daughter to see a different lens of the world. I didn't want her to see something so negatively, right? So I wanted her to basically go get whatever she wanted. So I thought, well, how else is she supposed to do that? If I'm scared to do it, then she would most definitely be scared to do it too, you know? So that's when I took it upon myself to just sit there and be like, okay, well, what steps do I need to take here and here? Well, and I'm watching the networking and the people and the different things here and there. And like you were telling me too, Tab, you know, the only way you're going to get your photography out there is if you start doing it and start talking to people, and more people start seeing my photography. And now here I am, literally 3 weddings later and 2 senior photos coming up. Like, I have a lot of people hitting me up left and right to do their stuff, and I think it's amazing. But it's because I genuinely put myself out there. I wanted the world to see a different lens on myself, as well as me seeing a different lens on the world.
People are connecting with you first, which is important.
And it is important, you know, because people are the resource. Like, I'm not like your average photographer where I'm going to sit there and, you know, think all my work is just the most infinite,
kick your foot up, take a picture.
So it's like, that's what kind of got me on that, is just listening to other people such as yourself, Christian, my daughter, and some of my other friends too that are really close to me, and my family especially. Shout out to my mama, Ann Rodriguez.
Shout out to Ann and her weight loss journey. Is dope.
Yeah, my mama's got me on that one too. And that's another thing, like, you know, speaking on the whole weight loss journey too, is I want to look and feel good, you know. And shout out to Angela Hall too, because she's the life and the health coach that does all of this for Optavia, if I'm saying that right. And I couldn't have done it without those 2 beautiful women on my side, as well as, you know, you and Vanessa, who've been helping me out tremendously too with other things. And so it's just, I want the world to see a different side of me, but I also want my daughter to see a different side of the world too. And I want her to be able to accomplish and do those goals. And what better way to do that as a woman who's empowered by all assets around me, you know what I mean? Empowered by everything, women, men, businesses, networking, events, artists, music, the whole industry as a whole. So I thought, I could take this on, you know, and I'm taking it on in an abstract lens, I guess you would say. So I'm the type of woman who wants to do it all, but my thing is women empowerment. Mine is photography, you know, and mine is helping alongside with your business, you know, and networking with other folks about Be Great, you know, what is it really about? Because this is what it is, you know? So that's kind of what it was for me, is just being able to see the world in a different aspect. And now I am, like I said, you know, I'm traveling, I'm enjoying my life, and I'm really happy where I'm at today.
I think
good. That's great.
Thank you.
That's great.
See, be great.
Be great.
You know it's great, girl. Say it again. On that.
Say it loud and proud.
Yeah,
Be
great. Yes. Stand up.
Take a bow. Round of applause. I do want to say this real quick. I know, right? Snap, we doing school?
Snap. Yeah, I know.
I do want to say this, and I'll let Deanna have the floor. But one thing I think about a lot, because it made me think of it, because you're talking about Emma, you want Emma to see the world. It's crazy to think, the life that we grew up, right? We just think, okay, yeah, every day, okay, it's cool to go to the movies. It's cool to do all these finer things in life. When you really start to do the things that you see on TV, the things that it seems like it's not even real. Mm-hmm. When people really get a taste of that is when I do believe people would actually say, like, that's what I want.
It's a whole different world.
And you think about, when people look forward. No, I'm not knocking anybody out there, so please do not crucify me for this. But like the people that look forward to the Fridays and the weekends and stuff, right? Think about why that is, because that's their time off. That's their time with their family. That's the time to relax. That's all of those things. Mm-hmm. That, and again, I did that for many years. Many, many, many years. We all did. But to see this other side of, like, again, this world that we feel, that don't exist. It's just on TV. Mm-hmm. It's a facade. It don't exist. To actually start seeing some of these things is like, wow, this is real. There is another world out there with all of this there. And I think about that. That's what kind of, I feel kind of keeps me grounded with, like, that's why I don't go out. That's why I really hardly drink. I did drink in Houston, but I mean,
you postpone your energy.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you know what? How do you say? You postpone your energy because you know what is needed in life, and you know that all this other nonsense on the side that's just a mess is not going to be important, right? So I mean, Deanna, you could probably say the same thing, like with what you're about to say. Like, we just postpone our energy and we save it for what is necessary. Like, just what we had recently with the UFC fight, like we know that all of our attention is going to go straight there. Mm-hmm. And we know, like, with my photography coming up, I know all of my energy is going to go there with the families and the people I'm going to be touching, and those are the things that we need to do, is we need to start postponing that energy. And a lot of people are so interested in going out every weekend, going to Vegas and drinking and doing all this other extra stuff, but it's like, grow up.
No.
Mm-hmm. What is growing up look like to you? Like you said, in school, we were told, go home, do your homework, wait for Friday, and then bam, you get to have fun, right? Mm-hmm. While we're growing up, thinking about this, and now that we are growing up and we're taking our own paths, like I said before, whatever street we're on, your mom may have wanted you to take a right turn and you ended up taking a down or, like south and north turn. You're like, no, I'm going to go up this way.
Being rebellious, Mom. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Cindy. I may have had some...
I'm sorry, Mom. It's paying off, right? It's paying off.
On that.
That's funny.
But, all right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Deanna. So back to the original, what were we talking about, right? What?
Wait, repeat. Repeat the question,
yeah, I'm going to repeat it for you. So what was it that was that moment for you where you're like, this is what I want to do? I mean, was there anything specific that got you excited, like, this is exactly what I want to do?
Well, actually, no.
Okay.
So my background is in the healthcare field, and I just passed my 8-year mark of owning my own business.
Congratulations.
So I was like, that's super exciting. I know, thank you.
Snaps. Like, come on, Dee. Snaps.
Look at me. Oh my gosh.
Stand up, one.
I know. So my background is in healthcare. When I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, nurse. That's kind of one of those things that I wanted to do because I enjoy helping people. I like caring for people. I like serving people. So if you're hurt, I want to comfort you. I want to make sure you're okay. I want to wrap your wound. That's just who I am. I'm a Cancer. I'm like that anyway.
Girl, I'm a Cancer too. Don't even start with them zodiacs over there.
July, June. I'm assuming yours is June.
I'm July 17th. Yes.
And I'm July 4th, y'all. Derek's in trouble. He's got 2 Cancers in the room.
I'm Aquarius. Aquarius gang.
So I'm a natural, caring, nurturing person. Yeah. So I wanted to be a, doctor, nurse, work in the healthcare field. Obviously, I had kids young, had 3 kids by the time I was 19 years old. You know what I mean? So what was I going to do? Right? What am I going to do? I got to work, got my GED, utilized programs, got my CNA, started going to workforce programs, doing all those things to learn interviews and learn business things. But I told myself when I was younger, I was like, I want to own my own business. Like, I don't want to work for people. I want to own my own business. I want to be successful. I used to go to programs and see like the head whatever superintendent kind of person or CEO, whatever, and I'm like, I want to be just like that, not them, but I want to be like that. I want to own my own business. I want to help people. I want to employ people. I want to network and just be in the community. I wanted to do that at a very young age. So I started doing that, started working for people, started seeing how they were, I don't like this. I don't like how they're just here for money. I'm not here for money. I'm here to help. Of course, you want to make your paycheck. Of course, you got to pay your bills. Of course, But I want to help people, so started doing that. Exactly. I made a foundation and established my business. Helping elderly. That's what I do. Working alongside hospitals and bringing people home so they're not in the hospital. Working with hospice. So I started doing all of those things. And I figured that I can take my management skills and kind of take those into a different direction, which would be like music, right? I love music. I like connecting with people who do music because they're creative. They can write a song if they're very, very talented. You can put them on the spot and they'll start flowing for you, and you're like,
you know what? I'm gonna give this shout out to Jex right now because this dude made a song in 30 minutes that is dope as fuck. I'll show you. I'll show you off camera. Yeah, it's dope as fuck.
Well, and a lot of his stuff is really good too. You know what I mean? As an artist, he really sets his mind, and I think that's kind of where we're going now.
Exactly.
With this,
right.
So like you, at a young age, you set your mind on something that you wanted. You went for it. I set my mind on something. I went for it. D, you did the same thing, and same thing to Jex. Like he set his mind. He knows he has to come up with a song, and I think that's how all artists, really are, especially in the industry. Like, look at Eminem, for instance.
There's some that are and some that are not.
Yeah.
There's some artists locally that we know, and some obviously like the famous artists.
Right.
But some of them can't do that. So I like to hear that. It's a creativity thing, and that's why I was like, I'm using my management skills to kind of go in a different direction, because when you have a business mindset and you can manage all those things, you can have any business you want. You can run any business if you have that mindset.
See, right? That's what's great about strengths and weaknesses too, if you think about it, because like you said, the creativity, so many people are so scared about their creativity, and they're like, I have no idea.
They get discouraged or shut down.
Yeah, they freak out, and I'll admit, it's right here.
Breaking
I was
news.
Kind of scared. Boom, boom, boom. But when it came to photography, I was like, I don't know. I do not know.
Because you don't know. You don't know. Like, am I going to do it right? Are they going to like it?
I'm like, do people even like it?
Is it going to be worth selling?
You're like, you don't even
Too
know.
much doubt.
Yeah,
you have doubt.
And then when you have a friend like Derek, where you're held against will, thanks to this guy. I got kidnapped, y'all.
Damn, you gotta say it like that, huh? Damn.
I should say I got kidnapped.
But it's good though. You had somebody in your corner to help push you in that sense.
Right.
And he's like, he's your cheerleader.
Yeah.
Do it. You could do it. When a lot of people don't have that. I didn't have that when I started my business. I wanted it. I worked for different owners, and I was like, I want to do this, but am I the right person to do it?
Yeah.
Like, people look at me statistically. You have all these kids. You're a Hispanic person. You have all this going on. You're a woman. Can you make it? Can you do anything with your life? But obviously, I proved them wrong. But 8 years later. But at the moment, you're kind of like, what do I do? So learning from these people, I started learning, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. So when I first started getting into my business, it was hard. It was very hard because I didn't have proper schooling for this stuff.
Yeah.
I dropped out of high school. I had my daughter, had my son, had my other daughter. I was a young mother, so I went to work. I have to pay bills. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I went to college. I got my associate's degree, but an associate's degree wasn't it's I don't want to say it's not good enough, but in a working business world, they want you to have a master's degree and this and that and the other. So I'm just feeling discouraged, So I did my own research, and it took me a little while to get everything together, but I did it all by hand. I sent in all my information. They rejected it. I sent it again. What do I need to fix? I started calling everybody, what do I do? Calling the health department, calling everybody. So I was doing my own research, and that's kind of how it works. But I utilized that to get into the music and managing things and about money and profit. What money we bringing in, what money we not? How can we sell these tickets for this, or what can we do to that? Or or how can we bring people in? It just all kind of ties in a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
In a way.
That makes sense.
You know?
No,
the business part is that it's kind of like where I tie in, you know? If you want to make some money, let's do it. You know, if you don't want to make money, I'm all for that too. Let's just get some exposure to get that money, you know, for people. But
let's get your toes wet a little bit.
Using the brains, I'm not a huge social media person. I am, but I'm not, if that makes sense. I would like to do a little more social media stuff, but I'm just more so with my little group of what I do, you know?
Yeah. It's like, come on,
more what I do, but yeah.
See, and now you're networking, girl. That's when you got to get with D.
And I know a lot of people that I wasn't afraid to talk to people. I think that's another thing we kind of, you know, dipped on earlier is people don't know what to say, you know, and they're scared or shy. When I go to an event, I'll go, as soon as the artist comes off the stage, I'll go talk to him. Yeah. I'll be like, hi, my name is Deanna. You know what I mean? Can we talk for a minute? I know you just got done, but I really enjoyed your performance. Can we talk? And they'll come, you know, and I'll talk and they'll be like, all right, cool. You sound like you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. You know what?
Let's talk.
I'm gonna give people an easy way to have a conversation because this is how I do it, right? I like your hat. Where'd you get that at?
I know this dude. I can't.
That's a nice jacket. Where'd you get the jacket at? Are you from Denver? You're from Denver?
Okay,
oh, you are? Oh, you're not.
Starter.
Where get your shoes at?
It's simple as that. That's what I do.
He would text be like, you know what? My brand would look really good on your jacket.
Check this out, y'all. It's just a plain hat. Oh, my bad.
Like, put the logo right there.
I don't know what that is, but seriously, that's seriously what. I don't give a damn if I don't like the hat, the jacket, whatever it is.
It's a conversation breaker, starter, you know.
So you want to know where I learned
just gotta be enthusiastic about it.
Thinking about all this.
Be enthusiastic.
Do you remember when you had your job and they were like putting you on the spot? Like, what would you say to a customer? Blah blah blah. So you think about it like, oh, what do I say? Just break the ice.
Hey, what'd you put in my drink?
Yeah. Ask them.
Sugar. What's that purple stuff on that?
A question with the question.
Exactly.
What would you say?
How's this for being on the spot?
What would you say? And
then I'll answer. My first job at Vans, you know, I did the same thing. You had to tell them, like, what were they doing for the weekend when they came to buy their shoes. And that's exactly what we had to do. We had to ask them, what are you doing this weekend? You know, talk to them. Be personal a little bit. You know, and even when I was working at Starbucks, like, it's the same thing. Like, when you're there, you're sitting there and you're asking them, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So it's just those little things, like understanding how to start a conversation, knowing how to start one.
And hold it. Though. Hold the conversation where it don't get awkward.
Right?
Hold the conversation where it does not get awkward, where there's a gap, a silence, and you're like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah,
you're like,
so
never mind, this ain't good. I'm gonna go
let me
the bar.
Just go. I got a phone call.
Like somebody's calling me.
Like, wait.
So you're not from here? Sorry.
Okay, well, yeah, I got the wrong one. I'm just playing.
Should I think of my next question? Sorry.
But you can't be afraid to talk to anybody. I'm not. I'm like, I'll go in there and talk to. Also, I think you can feel somebody's energy. You feel their soul. Yeah. Sometimes people laugh at it when you say things like that, and they're like, oh, I don't believe in that. But it's really true. People can see and feel you. Yep. They can see right through you, and they gravitate towards your energy. And I believe wholeheartedly in that because people have come to me and they're just like, I don't know why. I like your vibe. Yep. You know, I like you.
It's because of that radioactive energy you have coming from your heart.
All right, let me just throw it on everybody. Yeah, like it sprinkles on them. And so I think that's kind of where I was able to, you either have it or you don't have it. And that's just with anything, you know, to be successful in anything, business, whatever. You can either go up to talk to people and they feel you and they come and you just go, you know. And I think and you have that energy, you know, like you're a warm person. He's a welcoming person. Yeah. You know, so I think people just gravitate towards you.
And he doesn't judge, you know. He's
exactly.
He's there to talk to you.
You're open and you want to help people.
Yeah.
So.
I learned my confidence in Amazon. I mean, you know, that's when I knew. I'm like, oh shit.
We do know.
Okay, I got it. All right, I got it. Just carries on. So.
Yeah, it's not an awkward silence. I mean, in this industry, you have to not be shy.
No, you have to be a people person.
You have to be a people person for sure, but there's a lot of artists that I've met that are total, like, they stay home, they're just, like, in their home, introverted or whatever, right? But they just make this great music, but they're, like, they have anxiety and they're just at home.
Because if you see actual celebrities on the street, how many people make it so awkward on them where they're just like, bro, I'm a normal person. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm in movies, I have songs, like, yeah. But if you think about it, they're normal. They're normal people.
They're normal people. Just like I said on our last podcast, they're normal people. They just have money. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. But they go through the same problems as us. I mean, we all bleed the same blood, you know?
Yeah.
We all have our own issues.
Money does not keep you from dying. You know, health problems. There's the most famous, richest people,
like Robin Williams.
Exactly. You know, it's just, it is what it's crazy to think like that, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I agree. Like they're just normal people, and I think a lot of people don't really see that. So, going back to your question on Facebook, you know, like, what would you do if you're actually in the presence of a rich person and people just don't know how to act? Once again, it's the shyness, being shy, not knowing what to say to somebody, and like, oh my gosh, you know, like this.
And not being a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you're a fan, right? You like their music, and we enjoy that. But I think it just depends on where you're at in your life, too. I mean, if you are, you know, God forbid. I don't know. I just think it depends on where you're at in your life. Because if you go into an environment where there's, you know, wealth, you're going to just think about money instead of other opportunities. You're not thinking about the future, thinking about the now of like what money you can get off this person, but you're not thinking about the future. What can I do to keep the wealth coming or going, you know?
Yeah.
So I think people just look at a celebrity and like, oh my God, they're rich. But like they don't know what it takes to get that rich.
Exactly.
It's a lot of hard work. They get millions of dollars all the time, but what are they doing? They're sleepless nights. I mean, they're touring all the time. They get sick. How many artists have been in the hospital because they're sick from performing the same? How would you want to perform how would you like it if you're performing the same song every day?
Especially if you're a one-hit wonder.
Like, and you exactly, and also having the same energy at every show. Like if you've watched artists perform, like how that's a lot of work. That's because
to them it's the same thing that we say every day when you're at work, and they're just like, "Oh, Tom, how are you doing today?" "Oh, you know, I'm here. It's the same day, same shit, different day." I'm here. Well, to them, it's the same.
That's a perfect example, and it's
same shit, different day.
Exhausting on your body. You know, so it's like you're getting millions of dollars, but what kind of work do you put in for it?
Yeah.
Just in the industry when you're putting shows, a lot of people don't know the back work of it, of putting a show together. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And there's a lot of things that go on in the back of the shows, like there's fights. I mean, there's DJ issues. I mean, there's sound issues.
Boy, have I seen all of this.
Me too. And so that's what I'm saying. There's so much in the back where the artist is late. They show up super late.
Or the ones who don't even show up at all.
The ones who don't show up to sound check.
Exactly. So there's so much that goes on, and obviously our goal is to give a great show for people. You know, but then you're going to get those people that are not understanding of that, and they don't know the business, so they're gonna just bash your company or bash you as a person.
Because you're the promoter,
Yep, and the promoter always gets, because they're the front and face, the center of everything. So the promoter did a bad job. You're gonna blame the promoter when in reality it wasn't even the promoter.
Leave a review.
It was the door guy who didn't let the artist. Who wasn't on time.
Get this one on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
That is very true. Yes, I love that. It's like, yes.
It's
you don't know what that is.
So you want to be measured on that one.
Hey, what's this review? There's a review on the show.
Auction. Hold up the fans. $700 right here.
Yeah, no, it is definitely not easy behind the scenes. Like Deanna was saying, Tab, you and I have already seen it all. Jack's definitely seen it all. It's different being, you know, again on this side of, like, I guess you could say, like, I'm not gonna even say the wealthy side, but just knowing, seeing, networking, partnering with some of these people, right? They have, like, they spent 20 years in the game. They spent 30 years in the game. Like, these people have spent a lot of time in the industry. Here I am. I've only done it a year professionally, and we've seen a ton of shit out here.
He's all, man. No, you do. I've seen a lot of things too. Also, I personally have gotten, you know, burned for money for big shows and things like that, where people don't pay you. Oh, wow. But then you start knowing, like, who those promoters are. You don't work with them again, but you start hearing, you know, names, bringing them up. But I've gotten personally where people owe me money right now, you know what I mean? And people, you know, putting up money for shows, or, you know, you trust and believe that they're going to come through because they are in the business and people do know them, but then you turn around and you're just like, really, you're gonna do me like that, you know?
Especially like, why would you want your name?
Like,
why would you want your name all over that?
And also, you know, I'm not a petty person, so I'm not gonna go and throw all my business out there, who the person was. I'll have, you know, God will handle that, obviously, right? So I just kind of step back, but it's wrong to do that to people, and you see a lot of that in the industry. A lot of people that are, you know, stealing or just grimy things.
And see, the funny thing is how crazy is it that it's all still the same, no matter if you're on the wall of being famous or you're on the wall of not. Like, I mean, how many on a day-to-day basis do we talk about, like, where people, I mean, we dealt with this a lot. Like,
it's exhausting thinking about it.
I was trying to get tired. I don't even know. I kind of want to take a nap. No, but it's the truth. You know, like, we've had friends and even family, bro, like, who've done the same thing where they owe you, or, you know, they've done something to hurt you and bash you down to the dirt, and then the same thing vice versa. You know, on this side of the lens was working with artists or sponsors, promoters, all that jazz. And how, you know, what a coinkadink. It's the same thing, because you're like, oh, well, this really is the same thing as if it was on the other side than it is on this side, you know? So that's why I'm saying I think it's so funny to me, because a lot of people wouldn't know what to say or do when they actually come into it. But the minute that they're brought to it, you're just like, you know, it really is. You got to really move.
World. The thing that makes it hard is you really got to move professionally too. As much as shit may piss you off, because I mean, and obviously Tab, you already know, but like there's been stuff that like I'm like fucking pissed. I'm like, fuck this, you know. But it's like I can't, you know, I got to really keep my composure, especially because like if somebody else somebody could say, you know what, I understand that, they fucked you over, but you're not even looking professional.
Right.
You know, so then it makes me look bad, you know, and there has been those people where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because once again, too, it falls back in that, what was it that we said earlier, the humility side, right? So being humble and acting professional. Imagine how much more, once again, here I am saying it again on his podcast, like, imagine how much more the world could get done if we were all humble, if we were all self-aware, you know, if we actually took into account what our responsibilities, and most of all, you know, basically taking into account what we're doing, you know, how we're viewing the room, how the room is going to be based off of us, you know, because whatever happens, it's not how we react to it, but, you know, how is it that, or how are we going to basically find a resolution for it? You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, but we just know, like, and we've been through this multiple times where people have burned us. And so I sit there and I tell Deanna, you know what? I'm good. So I'll sit there and I'll tell Derek, because Derek will once again come up to me and be like, Tab, I got an opportunity. I'm like, oh, here we go.
What now?
Here's speech. He has to have a podium and everything, right? But then, you know, here I am as his good conscience, and I'm sitting there telling my brother, like, okay, well, what's the caveat? Because I need to know all that. So then he goes, but here it is. And so, like, he always has to have, like, his rights, and, you know, because I always try to look out, and I always tell him, too, it's not that I know how people are, but coming from a psych background, you know, somebody who studied psychology, I know how people are. And I know how great Derek is, too. But at the same time, and I think that's why me and him are best friends, because we've also noticed, too, like, how we work with one another. And we can give props to each other that way. You know, like, when it comes to the media and all that stuff, that's what's very helpful on my end with you. Yeah. But when it comes to reading people, that's when, you know, you've noticed myself as well because of my background. But it's just when I don't trust something and I feel it in my gut, and I feel it. And Deanna, we were just talking about this, especially with energy. When you feel somebody's vibe and you're like, you know what? I think it's a no-go. Yeah. So I'll tell Derek that. Derek's like, let's just give it a chance. I'm like, all right, you said it. We'll give it a chance. And then if it happens, and then at the same time,
it's more of an awareness, though. Like we're as long as we're aware of shit. Now, if shit is like way too out of hand.
But now you know,
that's not.
I think people too, they try to get away with as much as they can with you, and that's not even in the music industry. It's with any relationship or anybody. So you just have to be a little bit careful in that. But people try to take advantage of you, you know, or they see. Cause also, like, all eyes are on on us, on you, you know, and what we're doing. So I think it's important for artists and people in the industry to like kind of be careful what you post. I mean, be careful what you put out there. Don't put your family life and your baby daddy, whatever, cheating on you and screenshots. I mean, that's just, I mean, you could do that, but, you know, it doesn't look right.
Because you're like,
because I know I wouldn't want to work with those people.
I would not want to work with people like that because it's drama.
A little too problematic,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, do you want me to put all my...
yeah, right. I mean, let's just put all this out there.
Yeah, so I think, you know, everybody's looking at us, you know, and looking at what we're posting, what we have going on. And I try to be the most positive person that I can be, you know, with people or what I post or what I don't post. But putting the social, like on social media, your personal life is crazy.
Well, and I always tell people too, it's all about how people perceive you and look at you too, because if you're looking at social media, I hate to say this, y'all, but I'm going to say it. Your Facebook is your resume.
Exactly.
Period. Like,
yes, period.
It is your resume. The minute you wake up and you're all, you know, snapping pictures of yourself, bro.
Time to air out.
Yeah, that is your resume.
Like, damn, y'all.
So, I mean, your lives, your streams, all of that, your statuses, your messages, that is your resume. Like, I can't take into account enough. Like, I'm sitting here telling you, like, whatever people see on there. I mean, think about it. It really is. People who sit there and want to date on there, right? What are you going to do? You're going to look them up and be like, oh, what do they do? What do they do? So you're looking at their pictures. You're looking at their statuses. You're looking at what they actually have. If there's drama on there, you're like, I'm going to cut them off.
Exactly,
you know?
I would.
And same thing with business folks. I mean, people that work on a daily basis, like Jerry Robinson. Shout out to my boy.
Shout out to Jerry.
You know, he's doing some amazing things. But it's like, anybody who's on there, whether they're famous or not, my boy Stevie Stone, like, you have Jex, you have all these other artists, Eminem, like, you have social media is a
Shout
huge
out to
thing.
Eminem. I know he's watching.
I know you are. I know you are.
I know.
But yeah, it's one of those things because they're gonna look at to see how professional you really are being. If you are somebody who's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, okay, well then, how professional and how humble and how are you gonna go about that?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yes, Facebook, social media, your Instagram, all of that. That is your resume. That is, all in a nutshell.
It is. And a lot of people say, like, well, my Facebook don't define me, but it really does.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, like, you're the one that typed that, or you're the one that's thinking that and sharing it to the world. So it really does define you as a person. I'm sorry.
The world knows. Like, the minute you put a status up there, Kim Kardashian, like, people on Arab know about it. It's like
the ones that post about it. Okay, if I were to follow you home, what does your room look like? What does your house look like?
Exactly. What does your car look like?
What does your car look like? Yeah.
Is your car a mess? Because you know how they say, look at a woman's car. And that's how they keep their house clean. You know what I'm saying? So better clean it up.
Better clean it up.
Better clean it up. Put an air freshener in there. Some Febreze.
Some mints or something. Want to smell like pozole up in there.
I smell like pozole.
Or tortillas. Guy. I mean, they're good, but...
Hey, fresh smell tortillas in the car.
Hey, I'm on a health plan right now, so I'm thinking about tortillas mad,
bro. I know. Okay, let's change that.
Noodles, ramen.
Oh my goodness.
Think about it all. A nice cheeseburger.
Cooking my burrito here on my engine. This ain't normal. I know.
It isn't.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's crazy out there. One thing, it's all the connections that I know that all of us have and all that. You know, we got to be careful with who gets in contact with those people, right? Because I've had people come up to me and actually have somebody tell me, you know, go get an NDA so that way people can't use you for your connections. I said,
You're like,
okay.
Okay.
All right. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
That is very, that's very true.
Yep. So, just got to everybody protect themselves and, you know, make sure that, you know, that everything that we're all safe out there. We're keeping our kids safe. Yes. You know, I know that, by the way, shout out to Stevie Stone, shout out to Chris, Money Gang. We're going on tour. I'm actually bringing my daughters on tour with me. Nice. I'm going to be a vendor on tour. Jack's going to be performing, opening up. We'll be in Denver, Colorado Springs, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. shout out to Stevie and the team for making this happen. So, yeah. Is there any last things that you ladies would like to say before we wrap this up?
Just spread love, peace, happiness to everybody out in the world, and stop all the hate. Sending my prayers out to the school shooting and kids.
Yeah, prayers go out to the family.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's sad, but God bless everybody.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Have a safe year. It's I hate to.
I know.
Like damn, already a month in. Jeez.
It's already almost here.
I know.
No, one thing I'd like to say is one thing I take from all this as far as the podcast, but a while back I was listening to my pastor over at the Crossing Church, and Pastor Colton, shout out to you. I loved how he did his message on how we always sit there and we tend to tell people, man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I have to get it done. You know, we got to stop looking at it that way. We got to start looking at it as I get to do that. You know, like I get to do photography. I get to be a mom. And I get to be on Derek's show. And I get to work beside my best friend. I get to work beside Deanna. And, you know, I get to do a lot of things, a lot of great things. And so change your mindset. Change your mindset for sure, you know, whether it's on that side of the road or it's on this side of the road where we're all at too. So just, you get to do things. Like, it was awesome being able to be at that UFC fight this weekend and say to myself when I was by the ocean, I get to do this because I'm living my dream. You know, so really change that mindset.
Yep. I do want to say, you know, to everybody out there, don't be scared to follow what you want to do. There's going to be people along the way that try and destroy you, that are going to try and convince you otherwise, try and influence you. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You got to ignore that. The more we look for validation, the more we look for, you know, oh man, I love what you're doing, I see what you're doing. The more we look for all that stuff, then the worse off we're gonna become, because we're only going to become more familiar with those types of things, and those things we end up self-destructing ourselves and doubting ourselves, and it's almost impossible to make it through. So you guys stay strong out there. Deanna, Tab, I appreciate you ladies for coming on to the episode.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having us.
Yes,
give out your social media, business names, all that good stuff.
Oh, me? I thought you went to Deanna. Sorry. Well, y'all already know me. Tabitha Rodriguez.
I meant to go to Deanna.
I'm trying to go right here like
Instagram.
We take a breath and it's going to sell.
$10
for that breath.
That's funny.
And of course, you'll never forget, but I'm always with D. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, contact
you
my...
know where I'll be at.
Contact the email. Don't text
Contact my assistant.
So my social media is my first and last name.
I know, I do too. That's
nothing crazy. Deanna Solano, but you'll find all my information, my business, Colorado's Helping Hand, but you'll find all my contact on there. Shoot me a message. I'll respond. I respond, go on, whatever, and we'll connect.
Love it.
Let's do it. Appreciate you, ladies, and
Thank
until next time, let's go. Fourth quarter, baby. Let's go.
Snap, snap.